So I mentioned before that I had just finished reading Thucydides. I don't want you to think that this is going to be an ancient Greek history channel. But it's on my mind. So I'm going to talk about it a little more. Sorry if you don't like the subject. Something happens though in 425 BC that I didn't know about. I found it kind of fascinating. The war begins in 431 BC. Everything goes wrong for Athens. Pericles, the big leader, says our strategy is to dominate the oceans. Sparta's great land power, so our strategy is to not engage them on land, but to engage them on the ocean, to surround the Peloponnese, to starve them out. Everyone in Attica, which is the surrounding countryside around Athens, should abandon their farms, come into the city, will hide behind the city walls. Let the Spartans come up. Let them attack. Let them weaken themselves while we hide inside. And then we'll sail out, surround the Peloponnese, and starve them out. That's the strategy. Might have worked if you held to it, but a couple things go wrong instantly. One thing that happened is that with all those people crowding into the city, well, sanitation is poor, disease strikes, and some horrible plague strikes Athens within the first year or so of the beginning of the war. What the disease might have been, smallpox, bubonic plague, is uncertain. Thucydides himself had it and survived it. He described the conditions in some detail. Sounds like it might be smallpox, pustules all over your body, that sort of thing. But no one can really be sure. The results, however, are pretty clear. Athens, right away, is in big trouble. People are dying left and right, not because of the direct conflict. A quarter, a third of the city, a third of the population is wiped out right off the get-go. Pericles dies. He's their leader. He's the great general. He's in some ways the philosopher king. Down he goes. Now you have other knuckleheads running the show. And they immediately stray away from the strategy. They forget that they're a sea power. They start engaging Sparta on land with mixed success. So the first 4 or 5 years of the war kind of ugly for Athens. But then something great happens from their point of view. An Athenian fleet of triremes. Triremes are ancient Greek war vessels. 3 levels of rowers, hence tri. An Athenian fleet of triremes is sailing around the Peloponnese. There's a giant storm. They have to pull in. They pull into some place called Pylos. Pylos isn't all that far from Sparta. Sparta is landlocked. Pylos is on the coast. I don't know the exact distance. 20, 30, 40, 50 miles, something like that. Not that far. And there's a little fort at Pylos. And the Greeks have their whole fleet coming in. They all hop off the vessels and they take the fort. They weren't planning on it. Just so happened to be there, so they took it. And after a little while, they think, hey, this is a pretty good position. Let's just reinforce this place, which they do. Sparta gets wind of it, and they're like, what the heck happened there? Suddenly they've got this fort not too far from here. So Spartans suit up, they march down there, and they find, uh-oh, that fort's going to be a lot tougher to take than we thought. The Athenians kind of kicked their butt. Spartans aren't really sure what to do. This fort is guarding a harbor, and at the mouth of the harbor there's an island. And for whatever crazy reason, the Spartans decided, let's put all our troops out on the island. I can't imagine what made them do that, but that's what they did. And part two of that strategy was, then we can't take the fort from land, so we'll come in on our own triremes and we'll attack from the sea. We'll take those guys off the island as we need them. Reinforcements, whatever. So Sparta, the great land power, is now attacking from the sea. Athens, the great sea power, is now holed up on the land. The Spartans attack. It does not go well. The only guy who does anything is Brasidas, the great Spartan general. The rest of them pretty much stink. The Athenians win the battle. They take all the Spartan triremes. And now they got all these guys trapped down on this island. It's a complete disaster for Sparta. A disaster. Their army's trapped on an island. They've lost all their triremes. The Athenians have taken this tremendous position not too far from Sparta. They're beside themselves. They don't know what to do. So what do they do? They give up. They give up. They sue for peace. They say, we surrender, just give us our troops back. We'll call this whole thing off. Whatever. So the Peloponnesian War, as I've told you before, lasts until 404 BC, when Athens surrenders. They could have won in 425. All they had to do was accept the peace terms, accept the truce that Sparta was offering. But with Pericles dead and other leaders in place, they said, no, that's not good enough. We need other things. They wanted more out of those terms, whatever the terms were. We can win, we can kill them all, we can make them our slaves. This truce isn't good enough. We've got old scores to settle. They're not included. Ay, ay, ay. So they deny the terms. Sparta has no choice but to fight on. Brasidas says, okay, Pylos is too tough, forget it. I'm just going to take an army north and move on. That's what he does. All of a sudden he's up in Amphipolis and other places up there. The whole war shifts north. And I found that to be kind of tragic. Athens is destroyed eventually in that war, but it didn't have to be. So could you imagine the amount of soul searching that went on over the next 20 years as Athens slowly was dismantled by Sparta? The Athenian Empire was taken apart. Athens itself was brought to its knees. And how might that soul searching have reflected itself? Been reflected? Socrates was born in approximately 470 BC. So at the time of Pylos, he's a 45-year-old man. But he lives on until 399 BC. So we had 26 years to think about it. And though I've never looked into this question, I would imagine a lot of his thinking had to do with the fact, what are we doing in this war? How did we get into it to begin with? And two, when we had it won, why did we say, we need more than that? Winning wasn't good enough. All the art, the literature, the philosophy, a lot of the great things that you associate with Athens may have come as a result of the Peloponnesian War and the poor decisions made along the way. That doesn't look good. Uh-oh. Okay, ease up, buddy. Ease up, buddy. Ease up, buddy. Okay. Oh, Brewster, now you're a real mess. Okay. Stay. Stay still. Yeah, see all these deer tracks? He can't help himself. Oh, boy. All right. That's a better plan. Okay, okay, I think we're gonna stop here because this will be an endless video if I go on. So I think I'll call it a day and there'll be a part 2 tomorrow. Oh, shoot. Don't tell me we're caught not seeing mine again. Hold on, stay there. Oh, jeez. Okay. Easy. Easy. Oh, he's crazy with these deer tracks. Easy. No. Okay, let's go under. Why not? This could be interesting to look at. Hey, you drag me over here. I'm not going right back. Spend some time. Hold on, let me check out those booties. Not too easy there. 1, 2. No, go around this way. One, 2, 3, 4. Not bad. Okay, we've been there. We're done with that. We're done with that.